Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans, and we got another BC Lions re-signing here, as this was kind of near the start of the year as well, back when my voice was still shot, so we couldn't do a video on it, but Jonah Tavai, defense... what did you say?
I said we're playing catch-up.
Yes, we are. Jonah Tavai re-signs with the BC Lions, number 99 defensive lineman for them. Only 25 years old, born in Inglewood, California, went to school at San Diego State, has played 2 years with the Lions and seen a lot of progression through that. His first year, played 11 games, got 12 defensive tackles, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble. So, didn't get a ton of time, but then in this past year, plays just 2 more games, gets more than double his amount in tackles and sacks, goes from 12 defensive tackles to 26, goes from 2 sacks to 5. So he is a young piece, and he's damn good. And I think BC is very happy to keep him around, as I'm not going to lie, I view him in a similar regard to Jalen Hutchings. Jalen Hutchings now with the Minnesota Vikings. This is a guy that BC, they're glad to keep him around. He's going to be signing to a 2-year deal, keeping him through the 2026 and 2027 seasons. So with that, what do the Lions get? They get a strong... I think he was playing predominantly D-tackle. I could be wrong. Let me take a look here. But was he not playing D-tackle?
Yeah, I believe he was.
I want to take a look at a depth chart.
Because you had...
Yeah, he was, because he was playing with Hendricks. That's where he was playing. But we'll have to see if
Covington on the.
We'll have to see if Hendricks plays there next year, or if Nathan Cherry goes in there, because that was another signing that we had covered. So we'll have to see. But Tavai had done very, very well at that D tackle position. He had Bell next to him, unless he was playing alongside Betts, which was sometimes next to him there. But that's the thing. Like he's a big guy. So he's only 5'11". He's not like extremely tall, but he's 283. Actually, funny enough, 3 Down Nation actually lists him at 5'10". So they say he's even shorter. But he was viewed as a catalyst in the trenches despite not receiving all CFL recognition. He recorded 26 defense tackles, 5 sacks. And in the playoffs, he added 5 tackles and a sack in just 2 games. So he had done very well there. If we take a look at their general manager statement, Jonah's combination of grit, strength, and work ethic has made him one of the best D linemen in the CFL. Re-signing him was a priority for us, and he'll ensure our entire defense continues to get better. And the good thing about this is Jonah Tavai is a very good young piece in the CFL. You don't always get that. A guy that kind of develops just really, really quickly. And they've immediately seen this. And BC is looking for a bit more stability on that D-line. There's a lot of players in competition for that. I think, Rick, that was something you had wanted to discuss. All the D-linemen that BC has. You figure,
okay. So right now they have, depending on what you think of Riley Pickett, CFL has him as a defensive line, 3 Down has him as a fullback. So we won't include him in the final numbers. Right now, according to my numbers, they have 14 defensive line players. That's both defensive ends and defensive ends and D tackles. Yeah. So you figure, okay, Matthew Betts will be 1 defensive end.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure Christian Covington will be the other one. Mm-hmm. Then you have Dwayne Hendricks, Nathan Cherry, Jonah Tavai, and now Casey Sales. Two of those I don't think we'll take backup positions. I think they'll want starter. So I can see some interesting cuts. Yeah. Again, some of these contracts I haven't seen updated for, so I'm assuming that they're still signed because they're still listed on the roster. So it's going to be interesting to see where BC takes their defensive line this upcoming season.
A lot of competition, that's for sure. But one thing I actually want to go through a little bit here is I want to go through his time in college. He had played one season in 2018 for El Camino, but there's no stats really available, at least on the what I'm looking at. But if we look at his time in San Diego, at San Diego State, he had played for the Aztecs there with their last year going 9-4 in the Mountain West Conference college football. They had done relatively decent there. He had 10.5 sacks in 13 games in his last season with 60 tackles when you add in his solo and assisted tackle. So was just one hell of a force to be reckoned with there. And we've seen that quick progression in the CFL as well. Because even if you look at his time playing college ball, his progression goes really quick. He goes from 1.5 sacks first year, 3.5 the next year, 8.5 the third year, 10.5 the next year. Like that's the thing I think that made the Lions so interested. It was just how quick that progression came, in the sense of that he would get a little bit of a foothold and then he's just taking off and the sky's the limit for the guy. And so I think that this is a fantastic signing by the BC Lions. I would put money on that this guy, out of all the D linemen you mentioned for D tackle, I would put money on that this guy is going to be one of your starters. If I had a gun to my head, I would say that Jonah Tavai and Casey Sales would be those two, but we'd have to see. But I think Tavai is probably going to be a lock for that. But we'll have to see come training camp and preseason for the BC Lions. But all in all, I think this is a fantastic re-signing, and one that really kind of goes under the radar, that I think a lot of people wouldn't realize how big of a deal it truly is. I think the Lions were right when they said that he maybe doesn't get the recognition, but that this is a good move for them. Is there anything else that you got there, Rick? Anything else? No? Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys join our Discord. Link in the description below to our Discord, where we discuss all things CFL, NHL, all sorts of sports stuff. So make sure you guys go there, keep the conversation going. And without further ado, we'll see you guys next time.